gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Sir,
What's going on?
what's up? We missed you last week, buddy.
I know. I messed up my calendar so bad. I was in Chicago, which is an hour behind,
Yeah.
and my whole schedule got all messed up off
Oh,
1
man.
hour. But
We got a show? You had some roofing.
yeah,
GF.
JF put on. Yeah, they put on their big. I don't know, their local expo. Pretty sweet. I mean, there was like 1,300
Wow,
roofing
nice.
contractors there, so that's pretty cool. Got to see a bunch of people that watch my YouTube channel. They come running up,
Cool.
hey, I like your stuff. So that's always fun.
Very neat.
Right.
Hey, you're famous, dude.
Yeah,
I know you. I've seen you, man.
Cowboy hat is pretty hard to miss. So
It's true. Well,
Right.
so tell me, like your Uncle Frank would ask you, did you learn anything while you were there?
you know,
Did you come home with any new brain food?
no, I didn't actually. I was pretty disappointed. I love GAF. GAF's awesome. You know, I'm GAF till I die at this point, unless they really mess up.
Yeah,
But,
they're the go-to.
but I was pretty bummed. Like I went into one of the presentations and it was like in-home sales, how to win the in-home sales game or something.
It sucked.
Like the whole point was have a sales system, have a sales process every time. And I was like,
Yeah, but didn't
Dude.
walk through that process. Didn't.
yeah, right. And I'm like, man, oh man, come on. Like, give us some meat and potatoes here, right? Like, everybody knows you got to have processes. You got to have systems in your business. Like, everybody gets that. But I don't know.
Maybe GAF should be roping you in to do some
You know,
educational.
my rep was like, hey, man, would you speak at this? I was like, sure, why not? And he said that in front of somebody that he came up to me while I was talking to someone who watches the YouTube channel. And
Right.
that guy was like, yeah, you totally should. So
Nice.
We'll see.
Well, we missed you. We had Matt Caselli on. He's insurance pro, life
I
insurance.
watched a little bit of it.
Oh, did you?
So,
Okay, yeah, nice.
oh yeah.
Yeah, he was on point. He knows his stuff. He's super laid back and cool. Like, he's just an easygoing guy. And there were some questions from the audience, and yeah, we kind of tackled it. And I spoke to him a few times. He's working on a new policy for us, actually. It's renewal time for us. And I'm like, dude, get a crack at it. It's yours. Take it.
That's right.
So, and then there was like 3 other people that the next day DM'd me and connected with him. So he's my guy, and I'm happy to share his info. We got to get you guys talking too, just so you know who he is. Get you on a call.
Yeah, absolutely.
So talk about what we're talking about tonight. We kind of hashed out this is a never-ending topic, right? It's like something that needs to be beat into a lot of people's heads. And
oh my goodness, actually beat into it. Like the amount of people I talk to on a daily basis that just don't value themselves or the work that they do. They might say, I'm the best damn gutter guy out there, blah, 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 blah. But then in the same sentence, they say something like, I could never charge that much money.
Right. Oh, they say it like we're disgusting to be charging what we do.
Well, or they're disgusting or like, it's not worth it. It's just gutters. And I'm like, hold up. Weren't you just saying like you're the best dang gutter guy in all the land?
You're right.
Well, yeah, I am.
Look at it. So
okay, well, if you're better than my guy, how come you make less than him?
Right.
Well, you know, my installers, like you're the business owner. You're the business owner, but my installers make more money than you do.
Well, so let's chop it up. I mean, can we agree that it's a psychological thing? That's like the root.
100%.
All right. Like anything, right? Most things are psychological. They're
Bring the ears. Right.
Childhood, trauma, or, something that happened in your life that make you look at things in a certain light. And that's how you're hardwired now. And that really is it. So but then I always like to stay in that psychological, philosophical realm until we get into the meat and potatoes. Why does it even matter? Why should somebody, you and I could look at this as like, hey man, there's levels. I look at it for me, with me, it's like, as a former athlete, it's like levels of aggression, levels of physicality. You're just not as aggressive as I am. And so that's fine. You stay in your lane and you sell at your price and I'll be over here doing my thing. Why do you and I, as like mentors or educators, why should we care about this? Why should we preach on this? I think it exceeds, it goes beyond helping somebody in the business realm. I think it's a human thing. It breaks them out of this psyche of you know mediocrity, right? It's like, let's
Right.
through this glass ceiling and let's look at everything in our life this way. But let's start with our business first in our offerings, get those right, and then what else can we unlock in our world, in our life?
Right.
I don't know.
Well, and maybe not even out of mediocrity, but out of poverty. Right.
Well, yeah,
There are a lot of
your
people that
poverty
have
mindset, right?
a poverty mindset. Right.
Yeah.
I think about, I've got a newer sales rep, and his life is just kind of been chaos. Right. He grew up fine, but just chaotic. And, he comes to us and he's 21 years old and he's got a drinking problem. At 21 years old, he's got a drinking problem.
Mm-hmm.
And drinks, smokes, right? And A plus employee, kicks butt, takes names. And it wasn't until, like, we never once had to have a conversation with him. Like, he hit it really well. But one day in our team meeting, he's like, yeah, hey everybody, I'm sorry. Last week I was kind of MIA. I was actually detoxing. And we're like, what? Like, we didn't know he had a problem,
Right.
right? Because he hit it that well. He's like, yeah, I've been struggling with drinking and, just being a part of this company and, reading the books that we read as a company. I'm just ready to be someone different. And I'm ready to be what I'm capable of. And I'm done just like blending in with all the other 21-year-olds.
Took a lot of courage for him to say that.
Oh my goodness. I was like, yes, let's go. Like, this is a 21-year-old employee. This isn't a business owner.
Right.
This isn't, like, no,
yeah, what's
he's
the
a
incentive for
21-year-old
him to
employee.
come out and tell the world that, right? Like,
That's right.
normally
Yeah.
they hide in the weeds with that, and it's like, well, I don't need to put my neck out. I don't own.
That's right.
I'm not.
Yeah. The incentive is for himself to level up. That's it. He's noticed that between his ears, he had a head full of crap. And he's like, nah, I'm done believing that about myself. I'm going to be better. I know I'm capable of more. And
okay, so I mean, why does the poverty mindset happen? Why does that set in? Why does that take? Why do people accept that as their way of life? I think to understand that, if someone could self-reflect and understand why it happened to them, you could unravel it. Right? You can undo it and
for
sort
sure.
of reverse engineer it and then put yourself on a different track. But you need to know, you have to identify it and know that it's happening and that you are that way. It takes a long, hard look in the mirror. Colin said it. A lot of guys fight and make up all these crazy excuses, including chirping at guys like us that are like, no, this is, price, be in this realm with pricing. And they're like, you're greedy. You're taking advantage of people and that's not cool. It's like, man, no. Tommy Mello speaks on that really well because of course he runs a performance pay, strategy. And we're incorporating that here. I mean, it's critical, especially when you have like a phenomenal team, right? You want to make sure everybody wins together. But why would somebody look at successful guys charging where they should be and say you're greedy? Like, why are you not doing that for yourself? Why are you not chasing the same results monetarily for yourself?
Yeah.
You're not a humble servant. It's not. Don't spin that web for me. It's just you don't have that confidence. You don't think you're worth that.
That's right. Yeah, it's ultimately it's an inward. I saw a Jeremy Minor thing this week, and
he's on fire. I've been watching.
Dude, he's blown up. He's blown up. It's awesome, and he seems like a.
Did you order that
black book? What's that?
Did you order that black book?
Oh yeah, I've had the black book for like 2 years. Yeah.
No, he's pushing the last 2 weeks.
shoot, I mean, the guy's amazing. Anyways, he was interviewing someone, and the guy was like, "Look, man, I'm just getting really tired of the haters." And Jeremy goes, "Well, let me ask you about the haters. Like, do you actually know any of them?" And he's like, "No, not really." He goes, "Well, I've learned a lot. Like, I went to school for this. I've got a master's in psychology and this, that, and the other thing, and whatever else." And um, people who are winning are not tearing down other winners.
That's right.
All right. It's only the people who have jealousy and actually deeper inadequacies about themselves who are talking the crap.
Right.
All right.
Talking
Very, very, very rarely is someone, the
better
sounding gong for everybody else. Like, very rarely does a Dimitri exist, right? Like, Dimitri is the loud voice in the roofing space for everybody who's been taken advantage of, right? But that person's really rare. Usually people who only talk crap because they can't do, right? Or they haven't done, or whatever else, right? And they actually portray a lot of their own doubts and limiting beliefs out on this other person.
Projection.
And yeah, it's all projecting. And so when people get super frustrated, we post 3 times a day on 4 different platforms, and then a long form every week, right? And that's a lot of freaking videos going out there every day.
Sure.
Every day I'm getting somebody
you're in my feed every
at me.
time I open up any app.
That's right. Well, that's the point. That's the goal, right? But every single day somebody's making some sort of stupid comment, whether it's I'm interviewing New Tech on their 5.6 machine, Thomas Campbell, right? Yeah. And he's bragging about the computer. And it's like, nah, this is garbage. Be an old school gutter guy. You don't need that crap. Like, It's just like, why are you talking crap? You've never used this. Right. Why are you running your mouth about it? Or I just did that. I just started releasing some videos on the what was it called? The rot something downspout where it's coated. It's stone coated downspout.
Rot free or something.
Yeah, rot free downspout or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that this morning maybe or yesterday.
Yeah, I just started seeing them too. I don't do any of the posts.
Coating, texture coating.
Yeah, it's super slick. But same situation. Everybody's like, that's 10 times more than a regular downspout, blah, blah, blah. It's like,
specialty. There's the homeowner's paying.
It's awesome. Right. Like, why are you saying that's a ripoff as a gutter guy? Like, no, it's an easy upsell. You can make more money offering this thing to your customers if they want it.
It's sort of the plight and the downfall of social media, right? It's like it just creates this format, this platform for any old guy to chirp in, say his piece, be an asshole, talk shit, demean somebody. I guess it makes them feel good for that dopamine release for that 1 second, right? But and there's no, they go unchecked. It just is what it is. And I don't, the way to look at it too is if you look at Hollywood celebs or even like, I couldn't even reference, but if you go the other way, like Nobel Peace Prize winners, people of quality moral fabric, there's still people talking shit. There's still people that are just there to play and tear others down and make comments. It's really sad. Humanity, like this, the current status of things and the way people choose to direct their energy. And like I said, the dopamine release, it's like, okay, I actually go out of my way. I'm human. I have feelings sometimes, like there's a lot of stuff there, the compelling items on the internet, but I never can pull myself to just be a random a-hole and make some just a-hole comment just to do it. Like, what compels somebody to go out of their way to do that? Mama's watching, like, come on, man, do better. Karma's a bitch too.
Yeah,
I don't, whatever. But you're right. It's those that are doing lesser than are the ones that project up and
That's
throw stones. Guys doing better than you will never do that. They want to stick a hand out and
That's
say,
right.
"Hey, come here, man. You're doing great. Let me help you up. Let me show you the next trick."
That's right. That's it, man. I mean, seriously, think about this. This is the Gutter Live podcast, so we got mostly gutter guys on here. Think about that. The guys with the biggest businesses, how often do you see them running their mouth on social media?
You never see them. They're busy.
How often do you see them arguing over box miters, strip miters, hand cut miters? How often do you see them dogging on someone else or dogging on a product? Do you see Frank, myself, Corey J, Tony Cobb, Jimmy Fazekas, any of these guys? No, you don't see that. Who do you see doing it? The installers, right? Or the guys that have never really had a business or something like that, right? That's what happens. So, anyways, we kind of got a little bit off topic on this one, but
Not really. I think you wheel it in here. I mean, it's like for those that are listening, if you're one of these guys, do better. Do better. If you choose to dare and dare wildly to improve yourself, improve your life, step one, stop being a knucklehead and just be quiet. Be quiet and open your ears, shut your mouth, and learn something. And then you start moving in the right direction and you start taking these little lessons that I never invented. I've learned these just like Colin, and you take it and you instill it in your program and it works. And then, maybe you get lucky like we do and you get to pass the baton and show other guys how to do this. But these things are hundreds of years old. It's just, again, human nature tricks and ways of communication. And you have to change yourself. You can't be a negative Nancy. You got to learn how to channel your energy, but there's a way to grow your business. You don't have to get more leads to do it. More leads are helpful, but do better with the leads you have. Start with that.
That's it. Do better with the leads you have. And that, today in Gutter Launch, one of our members was like, guys, he's new. He's 3 or 4 weeks in. And he's just like, man, I'm really struggling with raising my prices. Like, I've been charging $8 a foot and I don't know how I can double it to get to that 16 to 18 that you guys talk about here.
Yeah.
And I just don't feel like I would pay that. So why would I expect my customers to pay that?
That's the biggest hurdle you got to get over, your own self,
Right.
your own thoughts.
Yeah. And I just sat back and I was like, as I'm sitting back, I got 3 or 4 guys that come unmuted. I was like, guys, have your way with them. Right. Because all the guys in the group went through that same hurdle.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, it's been years since I don't know that I've ever struggled with confidence. Right. So I was like, it's been years since I struggled and had those thoughts. You guys have gone through it more recently. Help a brother out.
Well, let's look at it from a different perspective. In the beginning, when you get into the industry, right, you kind of take your cues from other people. You learn how to price based on other people's pricing in the industry. You put your ear to the train tracks and go, well, what are they getting and how much is in? But that's the way it goes. That's how everybody starts. You're right. It is wrong. So, but it's what you know in the beginning, right? And you get going. But you all know, you realize you really aren't making much money. You understand you're running this marginal skim job where you barely are turning a dollar. If you understand your cost of goods sold, I mean, the other way to really compel somebody by the numbers is how a business coach, not even in our industry, in any industry, would say, let's understand what your carrying costs are, what your overhead is. What is your cost of goods sold, labor, materials? Let's establish.
Those are words many people in the gutter industry have never even heard before. Right. If we really dumb it down, so many guys look at what is my material cost and how much is my labor. All right. Well, I paid, let's call it $500 for materials for this job, and I got Johnny working with me.
Yeah, but I don't have the overhead. The next guy does. So
and I don't have the overhead, so I can basically just take my materials and double.
I run out of the garage in my house,
Right, and it's like no. Like, what about your truck? What happens? I said this the other day on a call. I said, what happens when your truck transmission goes out? And this was our Wednesday Gunner Launch Discovery call. And this guy goes, I just had that happen actually. And I didn't have all the money to pay for it. And I felt like a complete idiot. And I realized then I need to increase my prices. It's like, yes, exactly. Like you have crap that's going to happen.
Right.
Whether you blow a tire on the trailer, like, okay, yeah, that's only 150, $200, right? But if you're
You don't have
not
the money for
building,
it.
yeah, like it was a huge aha moment when I said, your business needs to make as much money as you do. They were like, oh my goodness. I never, like, yeah, you need to view your business as a separate person.
Right.
Your business has to make as much money as you are as the business owner, and vice versa. You have to make as much money as your business. So many people get that wrong, and they look at it, and the business and them are just one.
Yeah.
And they're doomed. They're doomed from the get-go. If their business makes $100,000 a year, they're like, I'm good, man. What?
I know.
Like,
the other way to look at it, the simple whiteboard tricks to kind of give somebody the visualization. Sometimes it's like an infographic that needs to happen in order for you to capture it and really understand it. It's simple math. If let's say you just, for easy numbers, double your price, you really, by the numbers, only have to then do half the jobs you did last year.
And actually less than that, because you have less travel expenses and whatever else. But you get the point, right?
Correct. But then again, though, if you double, 50% of that is pure profit, right? Because all your costs of goods sold are on that front first half. So you make even more money. You're more profitable on the doubling. And you only need half the jobs. We're saying roughly. So once you understand that mentally, the stress of, well, how am I going to keep up? What am I going to do? You only need half the job. So if you lose, let's talk conversion rates. If you scare away people because this price is so ugly and gigantic now, let half of them go. You still are making the same money, and you have half the job you have to actually install. If that doesn't bring you comfort as or even as a rookie business person that's trying to get their feels on how they're going to run things and find the rails to run, to get their center of gravity, I don't know what else does. To me, that's like, wow, now I have all this new time on my hands to work on the business and find other candidates for this higher price that I've now assigned to my services. I mean, all right. So again, back to, we're trying to be cathartic and helpful here. How do we instill a stronger mentality? How do we instill value in oneself and one's output? How do we do that? What are the tricks, Colin, that we've learned?
That's tough, because you got to figure out where it's rooted from. I was having a conversation with one of my employees today, and he's like, Colin, there are times when it's bedtime and I have a tiny bit of hunger, and I will go and scarf down food because it triggers in my brain having hunger pains as a kid going to bed because I was so dirt poor. Right. And
I have a refrigerator full of food.
Yeah. And he's like, I've had to overcome a lot of this stuff in my life. And he goes, that's how I got fat. And I've, he since has gone to the gym, ate well, whatever, and lost all this weight. But he's like, I have to fight that urge regularly. Right. So that's one instance of a trauma. And trauma is such an overused word these days, but there are real traumas in the world. Right.
For sure.
That's a trauma. Your dad telling you, you're never going to be good. You're never going to amount to anything when he's pissed off at you in the garage because you couldn't hold the light right or something, right? Like, you're a piece of crap. You're never going to be worth anything. Like, he said it, not meaning it, because he's just pissed you weren't holding the light well. But that stuck with you, when you were 8 years old, and now you're 38 and it still eats you up. And you believe that. There are so many little things that make us who we are. And if you don't deal with it, you're up a creek. You got to deal with it and you got to overcome it. You choose to overcome it, and you can truly, I know this is I don't know, a fairy tale book, but you could truly do whatever the heck you want to do. You go, I don't know if any of you guys watch the School of Hard Knocks channel. I don't even know the guy's name, but he goes around and interviews millionaires and billionaires all across the world. Usually finds them getting out of their Rolls Royce or something like,
Oh
hey,
yeah,
is this your Rolls Royce?
yes. How'd
Yeah,
you get rich? How'd you do this?
exactly. Yeah. Almost every single one of them grew up poor. Almost every single
Yeah, you're
one.
right. That is a recurring theme.
I mean, I would
Well,
wager,
it's
I'd love to know the
overachievement,
statistic,
right?
but I
Overachievement.
bet at least 9 out of 10 are saying, yeah, no, I grew up dirt poor. Yeah, I lost it all in my 30s. Yeah, I was
That's
sleeping
another
on
recurring
couches in my
theme.
20s,
A lot of them do
right?
have big, massive losses and then bring it back.
That's right. Yeah. Look at Hermosi. Hermosi lost everything, had a partner steal it all, and boom, now he's worth, whatever, hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
So it's it happens. Everybody, like you don't get to tens or hundreds of millions of dollars a year value without losing it once,
So
because you're going to gamble.
again, and we kind of said this a little while ago, but back to where the modeling comes into place on pricing, right? There you go. Okay, well, let me see how all the other guys do it. Maybe that is like rule number one. Don't just look at the average Joe and see how they price things so that you set your prices for your new gutter business. I think that's a really lackluster, unintelligent way to go about it. Why would you not look at the superstars, the guys that are
That's right.
making millions of dollars a year in revenue, and say, how do you price? How
That's
do you,
right.
what's the pricing model on your tiers, and what's your good, better, best, and what products do you sell? And then emulate that, you know,
Right.
just model success. If somebody else, and
That's
man,
it.
Sean Whalen, if and some of the stuff Sean Whalen says is very interesting. But one of my favorite ones with him is he's like, guys, it's so easy. You want to be successful, find somebody that's successful. Watch what they do it, mimic it, do the same thing they do. Like just repeat it. You don't even have to come up
That's
with the
it.
idea. You don't have to think about it. Just rinse and repeat.
That's
So
right.
why would you model your business or your habits as a salesperson after chucking a truck? Oh,
That's
it's
right.
$4 a foot. Why would you chase that? That's just insanity. You know how much effort and time we all put into building these businesses, especially those first 4 or 5 years. It's endless, right? You feel like you're working 100-hour weeks because you are. So
That's
why not
right.
take that energy and chase somebody that is crushing? Don't you think you'll get to from point A to point B that much faster by
Right.
modeling the guy that is at the finish line where you want to be?
That's
Why
it.
would you model the guy that is not even in the race? It's
That's
crazy.
right. And like let's be honest on this too. Um, I learned what I know about business from Tommy Mello, who does garage doors.
Yeah.
All right. And from one of my other mentors, Josh Latimer, who was a window washing company before he sold that and got into coaching and whatnot. Right. I didn't know who to copy in the gutter space because up until 3 or 4 years ago, none of us were really making content. All right. There wasn't a Cowboy Colin. There wasn't a Frank Heneghan making content. Like it didn't exist. Right. So I didn't know who to copy, but now there's so much info out there.
Crazy.
And going back to what I said about I learned from Tommy Mello. Well, Tommy Mello was an industry leader in the garage door space. There wasn't a Tommy Mello making garage door content before a Tommy Mello.
Correct.
He had to go to the HVAC and the plumbing spaces, figure out what those guys are doing, bring it to the garage door space, and increase that whole
Pioneered
community.
that whole thing.
He did, right. So don't be pigeonholed or pigeon-held, I guess is the proper term, by like I love the gutter industry. I love all of you guys. All right. Even those of you that run your mouth, I still love you. But I don't have enough time to hate anybody or energy for that stuff. But I forgot where I lost my train of thought. Oh, don't the gutter industry is so darn like just poverty mindset ridden. All right. It is so undereducated when it comes to business.
Wow.
And it's bothersome, but it also is encouraging because we've seen quite a swing here the last few years. I mean, I have, Frank. I'm sure you have too. But there's been a huge swing of people starting to value the work that they do, we're no longer like ditch diggers. We actually are
Yeah.
becoming a respectable trade.
Oh yeah.
Right. So,
More time
keep
goes on.
fighting the good fight, and
Gotta do these
let's
services.
keep going. That's right. We got to do it. So
Yeah, I mean, guys, the point of entry is relatively inexpensive, right? For you got to get your hands on a machine. A lot of you guys get machines, used from Uncle Tommy or whatever. A couple grand, $1,500. Someone's going out of business. You grab it. The old van it's sitting in, and you're in business. And look, that's how I started 22 years ago. It was like, let me just get into this. I had a partner. We had to scratch together 10 grand cash each. We got a bunch of material, all the ladders and equipment we needed, and a machine and a truck, and we were in business. That is the poverty mindset element. It's not some sexy business where you need $150,000 to put it together. I mean, you could, right? But you don't need much to get rolling. And then it's hard damn work. Let's give all of each other credit. It's hard, dirty work some days, especially in the heat of the summer, the cold of the winter. You come home, you're broken. You wake up, your back doesn't want to move. You're like the Tin Man. It's work. It's grueling. A lot of credit to all you guys out there grinding. All the more reason why it's important for you to take the business seriously, starting with the pricing, so that you may scale, so that you may bring in talent, you may bring in a team, so you don't have to kill yourself. You don't have to be a pretzel like me at 49. I have 2 knees and a hip. I mean, you just don't beat yourself up. You flex your muscle in your head, brain, and take the pointers. And it starts with pricing. And what comes along with pricing is quality product and presenting that product and service to the homeowner in a very enticing way. It all kind of plays together. If you put a price out there, you got to represent that price with a proper sales pitch and a sales kit, and you got to spend the time at the home, and you got to have good quality product. So once you get that mindset rolling, okay, I have the price in place. This is where I'm going to stick to this number. This is the number I'm going to hit. This is my baseline. It's funny how your brain starts to work for you to put everything in place to represent that dollar so that you have a half a chance on selling a homeowner at it. I don't know. I mean, that's the place I live in, right? Everything in our world here is premium. That's the way we decided to run our business. Wasn't always that way, but it has been for a very, very long time for us. But we're the best guys. Our mantra is we're probably the most expensive. We put out a very high quality product, and our customer service is bar none. When the homeowners call, they tell us because they either have heard through the grapevine, they see our marketing, they look at our websites, they see our trucks, they see our crews. Everything looks the same. Everything is succinct and branded the right way and the same color schemes, and we look professional. And they say, we know you're going to be the most expensive, but we just hope we could afford you. We know you're going to be the best. That's where I choose to live with my business. You know why? Because it's the same amount of damn hours in a day for me to get up and drive this thing, and all the headaches and all of the pains in your butt that you have to go through in a business day, and the management and everything. We might as well get the best dollar you can get for your time. I value my time. I mean, Colin, you ever break down on weird jobs where you have to charge somebody like a one-off consultation, or you're doing an inspection, and all of a sudden you're like, you got a million other things to do, just like I do. I am running other companies, and I'm like, man, my office is like, well, how much to get you there? And I have to now assign a value to my time.
Yeah.
And it used to, I remember when it was 50, then it was 100, then it was 150. Now it's like $700. Like and I'm not tooting my own horn. It's just, I have extreme self-worth. And to me, now my office better sell them that we're setting the owner. You're getting the owner for whatever your problem is. You've escalated this, and you want the owner, or you want him to do a expert inspection, $700. Or, I'm throwing it out there. The number fluctuates, but you could say, well, that's more than an attorney. Correct. It's more than an attorney by the hour. 100%. That's what I go. That's why, because I value myself. The worth and the quality of what I put out for a homeowner is just as valuable, or if not more, than them paying an attorney
That's right.
to run up the bill. Why not? Why not? Why is it not essential? Why is it not as important? It
That's
is.
right. I completely agree. And most of the time, what we're solving is a bigger pain than what most attorneys are solving.
Let me give
Right?
an example from today. Today was amazing. Today, I'm in Connecticut. I'm basically like a meteorologist, right? I read the weather 5 times a day because I need to forecast out for scheduled work or whatever's going on. Right now, we have all this snow that's sticking around and lingering and melting. Now we just started to hit that like thaw cycle. So it got wet last night, then it froze. Then it got wet again today and it froze. And I know from years and years of experience, like that's when shit hits the fan. Like that's when the roofs have been leaking the last 2 weeks, but now when it's really gets wet, that's when like whatever's stuck behind the ice dam just pours into houses. We got a call today and it was a commercial building and they had water pouring out of a ceiling, they said, on a second story, small 2-story commercial building, pouring out of a ceiling in one of the office suites. Please hurry up. And they had been dealing with it for like 30 hours, 36 hours. And we're like, you're just dealing with this? Anyway, they send me, I happen to be the one to take that call. I'm like, all right, I told my office manager, I'll do it. All right, I'll go. So I get there. I mean, we always post on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. George will cut a video. I have all this video content from me going because I'm always running the camera. Water was just pouring out of this drop ceiling. Pouring.
I saw it.
Saw that? Yeah, I saw it in my story. Wait till you see the rest of it. So, you get there and you assess it. Then I took the time and I had a whole slew of meetings today, in person and virtual. And I wanted to keep my schedule. This is not my headache. I was just going to assign a team to it. But I stepped outside, took a moment, collected my thoughts, and I priced it accordingly. We were you got to pay me for my expertise. I'm going to tell you why that water is leaking. They're like, there's a hole in the roof. The flat roof, the roof is damaged. I'm like, no, it's not. So I go up on the roof. I look at it. Now there's water puddling around all of the roof drains. It's stagnant, not moving, static. But the water is pouring out of the ceiling. So it's a pipe issue. It's the drain has a backup, a clog, maybe free ice in it. But the roof itself is not the cause of the leak. But anybody could misdiagnose. Anybody could go in and sell them a bag of lies. I could have said it was the roof. I got to cut the roof open. I got to do surgery on the EPDM membrane. I could have spun it any way I wanted, but I quickly assessed the roof. Said it's not the roof. It's definitely in the pipe. So now it's like, what am I going to charge this guy? Now, I think we walked out of there. My crew, I shadowed them for about 3/4 of it because I had the window and I just kind of stayed in the parking lot. I had a team come in. They went on the roof, cambered the drain, followed the drain all the way down out of the building into the parking lot, under the parking lot in a pipe. So the pipe wasn't frozen or backed up through the building. The building is clear. So now I know it's a problem with the pipe under the driveway. We get in a catch basin and come back up towards the building, and it's filled with ice. So we attacked it. We were there for an hour and 20 minutes total, right? 3 guys, hour and 20 minutes total. I think we got out of there for like $2,400. Now that was me controlling the situation, calling the owner of the building on the phone, itemizing all the things we're going to do, building value in all the steps. I'm going to camera and locate the pipe, and I'm going to snake it. So that's one price. If I find that I can't snake it and it's a clog or we have to jet it, it's another price. I'm kind of like guiding him through the levels of horror, like
Right.
the next step. And then I said, the worst case scenario is we have to cut the wall of the building on the outside, find the pipe, which we could use the location equipment to get, cut the pipe out, pull it out. My point is $2,400. I think my costs, my overhead on that was like $600. So to me, that's that delta, the spread.
Yep.
It justified me being there instead of doing something else. Where I look at the job and I said, some other contractor would have came in there and maybe charged $300. But why? You're dragging expensive $6,000 cameras onto the roof of a commercial building, and you're cameraing, and it's freezing out. And then we had to grind the catch basin grate off. It's seized up. It's rusted in place, a cast iron. That took 35 minutes to get that thing off. Like, charge accordingly. You're doing emergency work, same day. Why do guys give it away? I don't understand it. It's bananas.
Right. Frank, I got to do that exact same thing like 2 weeks ago at my house. I've got all my garage drains that go into a catch basin, and it froze coming in, and so it was backing up into my garage, and I got into the catch basin. I could see it was all frozen up, and I just grabbed my hot water hose and I just sprayed it in there for a few minutes, and all of a sudden it all puked at me, and I was like, oh crap. But yeah,
get it done, loosen it up.
Got it done, man. Everything was good and flowing good. That's the first time it's frozen in 3 years living here. So, but it was cold as heck. So
nice. All right, what else? What are the other reasons why it's important to know your worth, establish your value, know your numbers, how to establish those numbers? Again, is it looking around and seeing who's the highest price guy out there? Some guys, I mean, look at they say, you could talk about leaf filter ad nauseum, but we hear these stories. People are getting $40 selling leaf filter, $50 a foot. So that's the spectrum. You could charge whatever the hell you want as long as that customer is willing to pay for it. Why is that? Why is that illegal or morally wrong? Look, you want to try to move the needle to the $50 a foot. You're not going to get too many clients. Let's just be honest.
Right.
So, to me, at that $18 to $20 a foot, if you could hit that all day, that's a phenomenal price. And I could grow my business, take care of my staff, make sure they're in safe and nice vehicles and equipment, and have what they need to do the job. I'm not cutting any corners on their behalf. And it's sustainable. It's sustainable.
Well, here's another reason that it makes sense. I was talking to a fellow the other day that was looking at joining Gutter Launch, and he still is going to join. But he's like, Colin, I can't get anybody to come work here. And I was like, well, tell me how do you pay them? I pay them $15 to $20 an hour. Well, there's problem A. You can't pay. He goes, I can't pay them anymore. There's not enough meat on the bone. Yeah, I know, because you're probably charging $8 to $10 a foot. Yeah, so, right. So that's why you're stuck there. And I gave him this example. I said he lived in Tennessee, and I said, what's the average footage on the house there? He goes, 120, 150. So, okay, cool. Let's go 150. I have a gutter guard that we sell. We sell Master Shield for $38 per foot. All right, just the guard, no gutter, nothing. And he's like, oh, no way, man. I was like, just hear me out on this. Just hear me out. All right, because everybody says no way, right? That $3,800 or that $38 a foot times 150 feet comes out to $5,700. All right. Now we pay our crew, our 2-man crew. They get 10% of the job. And some of you are going to be like, oh, screw you, Colin. I don't want to hear it. You don't know what it costs to run a business. All right. So my 2-man crew makes $570 for that job. All right. $570 for something that probably takes less than an hour and a half, 2 hours. Let's say it takes 2 hours. All right. 2 hours is 2 guys. It's 4 man hours. All right. So 570 divided by 4, it's $142 an hour. That's pretty darn good money, right?
Yeah.
So, who one of my lead techs just went and bought himself a Project K5 Chevy Blazer, and he's building this whole thing up, right? Why should I be the only one that gets to have cool toys? I want my team to have the freaking cool toys, right? You want somebody that wants to go to war for your company, that wants to show up every day and make some money. Guess what? You give them the opportunity to make money. That's it.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. And if you're going to cap them at an hourly rate, well, all right, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Of course, you're never going to have good employees. If they can't make good money because you charge too little and you don't value yourself, Yeah, they're going to go work for somebody who does value
Another
themselves
good
so that
point.
they can be valued.
Yeah,
That's
everybody
it.
talks about retention. I can't keep people. It's you're not paying enough. You're
No.
not paying enough.
Yeah, and there's not enough. There's nothing for them to fight for.
You
Plain
can't
and simple.
squeeze that out of $7 a foot. You can't.
No,
You have to increase your prices.
that's right. That's it.
The other thing too is, and this is the other mentality that I really starting to look at business with as we really try to grow our business from the services side. When I first got into business, I was all project based. I didn't want to do gutter cleanings. I hated them. I'm like, I don't need that. I'm busy with installs. I just want big jobs. I want, high end builders to call us. I want the discerning homeowners with the nice houses to call us. I want to be known for the copper work. That's what we want.
Right.
So that's all great, but when you start looking at the numbers and you really understand things, and even that private equity run that we just did this last year, my business and my wife and I, you really start to understand the numbers. You say, holy cow, you know why they don't value project work? Because it's freaking exhausting. All right. And it's very, very cyclical, where it's affected very heavily by the market, right? If things are soft or consumer confidence is off, project work gets affected immediately. Whereas recurring services, if you can go in and get the homeowner to say, you know what, yes, come out and service my system twice a year, do the gutter cleanings, put it on
Right.
autopilot, put it just automatic, just come out and do them, bill me, hit my credit card, whatever. If you start taking that approach, it's just,
It's a ball game.
yeah. I mean, the mentality behind that though is I want to stay in front of that homeowner and keep them happy. I need a team to do it, right?
Right.
You need a team to do it. And why does that homeowner want you? Because you're putting that service out there and you have the team to support it and the level of customer service that it requires. So it's kind of like what's the term I'm looking for? By default, if you're trying to grow as a services approach, by default you're putting all the right things in place to stay in front of those homeowners.
Right.
Project work, then it's race to the bottom. It's uh, very price conscious and sensitive. I find that as long as you're in front of those homeowners all the time, you're the guy. You're getting the jobs. They're when the gutters do fail, when they want to do an improvement to put in an addition, you get the project by default just because you're always in their ear.
Right. That's it. That's it. Hey, we've got a couple comments.
What do we got?
I can't tell. Adam Good commented. He said, "Because every market's the same, right? Question mark. Always just charge more, and the work will come." I can't tell if that's sarcasm or not, but
Sounds like
the answer is yes. Every market is the same. Buyer wise, like you might have to change your
It's all
products a little
relative.
bit.
Correct.
It's all relative, right? Like, yeah, okay. If you live in South Florida, you might sell more 7-inch gutter than 6-inch gutter or something.
I mean, I say this all the time, right? You see your Mercedes dealerships, your BMW
They're
dealerships,
everywhere.
and your Hondas, and you take that into any major metro market, and it's the same mix that holds true, right? So be the Mercedes dealer of the gutter industry
That's
in
right.
your territory.
The market is the same when it comes to buyers. You drop me in my cowboy hat anywhere, I promise you, I will get premium pricing for gutters. Plain and simple.
It's all in the hat.
It's not a me thing.
It's a
It's
Michael
not a me
Jordan
thing.
hat thing.
What's that?
I said it's the hat. It's got to be the hat.
It's the hat. Yeah, there you go. All right, yeah, get yourself a cowboy hat. All right. So, no, so we got that one, and then you got a bunch on the installer page.
Taking a look here.
I can't see it. Looks like you commented something to Ryan Huff.
Yes, Ryan Huff was being a big man and said he had chirped at me a couple times in the past, and he was apologizing. Thank you, Ryan.
Oh.
I appreciate that.
Right on.
No worries, brother. You didn't hurt my feelings, but I do appreciate you being a super gentleman and doing it in a public setting. Thank you for that.
There you go.
Douglas Diaz. This is true when you know the product, it will sell itself. This is true when you know the product, it will sell itself. You just have to close the deal.
Right.
I used to say that, and I had a mentor. This guy's a billionaire, and he yelled at me once, and I never forgot it. He said, "No, don't ever say the product sells itself." That's what he yelled at me about, because I truly thought I had this, and we did. We had a really You sell the product. The product does not sell itself. The product is an inanimate object. You are the channel, the vessel. You are the salesperson. But yes, I do
Right.
stand behind quality products.
That's actually a really good point, Frank. I brought it up the fella in our gutter launch community today. I asked him, why do you feel like you can't charge more? Or let me rephrase that. Why do you feel like you should charge more?
Yeah.
And he goes into like, well, I use this hanger and I space these hangers this close. I use thicker aluminum. It's like, whoa, hold up. None of that matters, because every other gutter guy is going to say they use the best hangers, they use the best aluminum, they're the best quality, blah, 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 blah. All right. So it's your word versus anybody else's. He's like,
Don't know
what do I do?
Carrying up that ladder.
What's that?
The homeowners don't know what you're, what you
No.
with the coil.
Nor do they really care. They want to know that you care about their house. Right. And so everybody in our community ganged up on him and was like, hey, no, man, it's not about that. It's about how you can serve them. Like, are you finding their pain points? Are you solving for that pain point? Like, and they just pop, 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 pop. And I'm like, what else can you help them with? Do they need a roof too? Can you refer a roofer? Do they need a concrete driveway? You can refer a concrete guy. Like, how can you help them achieve their goals? That's it. If you help them get what they want, they're going to give you a lot of certificates of good deeds, dollar bills. All right. That's it. It's plain and simple. So
good point. What else am I missing? Douglas Diaz. He posted our number. I don't know if we're having a call in. Looks like George took a call. We'll see who's coming in.
Good. Dennis Lugo says, favorite line, not in my market. Yeah. My dude.
You got a call, George? He's got a caller. All right, we have a caller. Who do we have? Is it Douglas Diaz? Yeah. Cool. All right, Douglas Diaz is calling in.
Sweet. We got so Dennis says favorite line, not in my market, and he's actually my supplier for Master Shield. So
is that right?
I know he likes hearing me say I get $38 a foot for it.
I'm sure he does. Douglas, how we doing?
Hello? All right, buddy.
How we doing?
Yes. All right, I just seen you reading my comment, and that's exactly what I meant to say. I mean, if you know the product, it's just really up to you, like you said, to close the deal. But like going back to, using the better product, there are better products. I mean, there's your strip miters, your corner miters. I'm not going to tell you which is better, but I do know that one costs $3 and then one costs $25, and then you also have, the difference in overlapping. One only overlaps about 3/4 of an inch at most, and maybe the other one is about 45 inches.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 to 5 inches. So and it's a lot quicker.
It's the old industry argument.
Yeah.
Listen, I rolled up. I've worked in my neighborhood. I've been doing this over 15 years in New York. And
I know you're in New York. I can tell by your voice. You're close to me.
I grew up in Long Island, and I did a lot of work. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Advanced Seamless Gutters. Shannon Girardi.
Advanced?
Yeah.
Anyway, Advanced. Yeah, Shannon. On the
island.
He's out towards Ocean side.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's got like 5-6 trucks. My brother used to work with him back in the day, so we all split and did our own thing also, we're just trying to come up like everybody else,
Sure. Yeah,
so... But, I'm just going back to that, better products. Once again, you got 27 gauge and you got 32 gauge, correct?
Yeah,
so you have, it's a little bit cheaper for the 27, but why fool around with that? If you got to go up,
not in New England.
High,
I never buy 027.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of guys do. They're just shaving a couple pennies, and that's their angle. To me, the homeowner, we have the touch and feel. Guys like us know what you're handling. The homeowner doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
You could put make them play with it. They'll figure it out. Yeah, this looks like it's heavier, but you could tell them you're going to put 032. You could tell them you're putting 040, and the guys show up with an 027 coil. So, Colin's right. It's building rapport and giving them the feels that you're going to do right by them. You got an inbound call?
Oh, of course.
Busy over here. The phone's ringing again. We're not done with you, though. Don't stay on the phone.
But what I was also going to tell you is I've seen even gutter companies professional companies that are out, they're screwing miters, like strip miters on the bottom. I mean, that just don't make no sense to me. I mean, why would you screw something on bottom?
You know why? Because a lot of manufacturers put holes. they put screw holes on them. Like, well, I guess a zip screw goes here.
2-3 years, those. Yeah, I mean, it's all how you fasten it too. So
100%.
You become more aware once you're more experienced in the field. And as like everybody else.
Correct. Look, the homeowner doesn't know what they're going to get at the end of the day. What they have to go by is your reputation, what your website looks like, what your salesperson looks like when they show up at the door, how and this is probably the most important, how your office person answers that telephone when they call. Are they sweet? Are they engaging? Are they intelligent? Do they know the product? Do they get right to the punch and get them on the schedule? That whole feeling. How that goes, by the way, that appointment setting is probably the most important part of the whole process. But it's the way we look at it is like boxing. I look at it as like setting you up with a series of punches. I jab, and then the sales guy goes out, right, and he's on time on the same day, and jab again. We just keep kind of hitting for the head, and bop, bop, bop. You hit them 2-3 times, and they're totally sold on you. And they trust. They're like, these guys are going to do a good job. I could tell. They're just Johnny on the spot.
Oh, of course.
And you got to have that. And that was one of the hardest things to put together as a young guy was I can't afford somebody in the office. Or I don't trust somebody to say the right things. I have to take the calls. And those are the things you got to make more money on the jobs you do have so that you can get those people in the office and doing these jobs. And that is that catapult to get the business beyond $1 million a year. On my 2 cents, Colin.
Right. Yeah, no, I completely agree with all of it. You guys are rocking and rolling on that. So use the right products, kick some butt, take some names, but ultimately, it's up to you to make the sale. All right. End of the day, customers buy from you. They don't buy off of your products. Yeah, you got to be able to stand behind them, use the right ones, but your customers are going to buy you, not your products.
Yeah.
Right. And also provide, other services as well. There's, gutters, maintenance, gutter guard.
Totally.
Gutter cleaning. So, when you approach a job, you also want to be able to say, hey, I do this, as a service also annually. So I can come to you 3 times a year, or we can install gutter guards and just come to you once a year and still clean them out,
Yeah, the strongest and fastest way to really grow the business is if you do take that services business approach and you treat that customer when you get to, you're trying to win a contract. You want to win a services contract. It's not a one and done. You're like, I'm your new guy. You're going to see me 2-3 times a year. And then you unroll and unravel all the other services you do. Maybe you blow the roof off every year. Maybe you pressure wash, sidewalks every year. Maybe you, you're there like now with the emergency services with snow removal. Once they know they could trust you, they'll give you everything. You dryer vents, you want to vac those out once a year. I mean, it's sky's the limit. It's a lot of work, a lot of organization to keep these services scheduled and humming, but there's a lot of good money behind it. And you get all the project work too. Douglas, thank you for calling in, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks again, man. I love the chat.
All right, man.
Douglas.
Call anytime. We're on every Thursday. We got another call coming in, so we're going to jump.
I appreciate that. All right.
All right, brother. Thanks. Who do you got, Georgie? Dennis.
Dennis Lugo?
Dennis Lugo?
Let's go. Dennis, you on?
Yeah, I'm going to connect him on the Holland areas. I think we had him on hold for a hot minute. He's coming in now.
Hello.
Hello there.
What's up, Dennis? How you doing, my man?
From Daytona, Florida.
Very nice.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Welcome to the house.
What are you doing in Daytona?
I am actually at the race, the Daytona 500.
Beautiful.
So I came in from. It's 57. Pretty nice.
Yeah.
Here.
So I was at the Accelerate event, and I came directly over here after meeting some prospective dealers on the way across Florida. And I leave Saturday and then head up to Myrtle Beach.
Cool.
There we go.
So you do business with this
Yes,
guy?
sir.
You know Colin?
I may know of Colin for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
I might, for sure.
I wanted to touch on, I don't know if y'all had a particular topic, but I actually wanted to touch on a couple of points that y'all are talking about and just what I hear often. So I am curious if anyone's ever had a conversation with me or us in general. You can definitely put it in the comment, but a couple of things. So service-based business, almost every prospect that I speak to, and even our current dealers, I almost always talk about, do you offer a reoccurring service, right? Like, do you go back and clean the gutters? Do you go back and blow off the roof? You know, while I'm going to do a quick plug here, I think we have the best gutter guards on the market, and they are the ones that don't need to be cleaned as often as others. They still need to be cleaned, right? Just being transparent here.
I like that you're saying this.
Absolutely.
So I don't have experience with your covers. I know them. I think they're quality. There's so many options out there. You know, the two that we use in my service business are great. They hold up well to the elements. However, our warranty, you know, all over our website speaks to the fact that we need to do what we call a dusting once a year. We don't want to lose that. Number one, we don't want to lose that customer. We don't want to put covers on to say, bye, you'll never have to see me again. And number two, I don't care what the latest engineering is behind gutter covers. Bless your soul, I'm not knocking covers. They're great. They cut down and reduce the maintenance, but nothing, and I mean nothing in this world is truly maintenance free. So if my customer does not do the dusting, they lose my warranty. Now, of course, we have gray areas and we'll work them back in, but it's a good talking point when they disappear and ghost us for 2 or 3 years. Then they pop up because they have a warranty issue. And we're like, where you been? We've been calling you every year and you haven't let us back to the house. And now your warranty is in flux. Oh, can we come now and have a chat? Let's get to the house and we'll reconvene and pick up where we left off. And it helps you, the supplier, because come on, man, you can't be giving covers out on warranty nonsense. Like, things need maintenance. Teeth need brushing. You know, siding needs power washing. It's just kind of how it goes.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm cutting you off. There could be like a little bit of a delay in the audio here, but I couldn't agree more. And I'll be the first to tell any of our prospects or our dealers, listen, there is no perfect gutter guard, right? I won't mention any of the names or companies and so on, but they literally have it on their website. They may come to your house and tell you that you'll never even have to look at your roof again because whatever is going to clean it and you'll never have to touch it, right? But that's not true, right? Even with our guards. I always say that if you have leaves going in the gutter now because you don't have gutter guards on there, the leaves are gonna sit on top of the gutter guards. It's not like a magic vibrating motion or something that's gonna put a bubble over your house. That's right. It's gonna collect debris. So yes, absolutely. And one other thing I did want to chat about really quick is because I have this conversation so often. Y'all are talking about guys being at 18, 28, 38 bucks a foot, and then you have most of the guys that are hovering around 6 to 10. Like, why is that? And I experience it every single day. And more often than not, what I learned is more about is they've listened to the industry standard for a long time now, where people are like racing to the bottom. Yep. They don't want to get over $6 a foot because they don't want to be undercut by someone, right? Everyone's out to undercut someone. But the companies that get it, like, they raise their price, right? Because they know they offer a premium product, premium service, and they're not out there to race to the bottom. But it all comes down to me, my personal opinion is conviction. Like, they're not convicted in their product. Right. So they reduce the price.
When it comes to gutter covers, I find that everybody wants to be able to look a homeowner in the face and say, this is the best product and we guarantee it. To me, I think you're fooling yourself, and obviously you're fooling the homeowner. To me, treat the homeowner with a little bit more respect and treat your business with more respect. Put a warranty on it that requires that dusting. And then you could tell the homeowner, look, let's face it. Let's be honest with each other as I'm sitting here in your house. This product is fantastic by design, but come on, I'm going to have to come out here every once in a while and take a look at this thing and dust it off, hit it with a leaf blower just to keep it in optimal condition and ready to go, right? And they're going to go, you're right. I do have common sense. Thanks for not trying to whack me over the head and tell me this thing is going to jump up and shake itself off. I know it's not perfect and it won't last forever. Thanks for treating me, with a dose of realism. And yes, I do value that, Frank, and I would like you to come to my house once a year. How much does that cost? And what other services do you provide? What can you do while you're out here? Well, I'll screw the light bulbs in on the thing, or I'll do a roof inspection to make sure there's,
What do you charge monthly for that, Frank? Do you charge monthly or annually?
It depends on the house. It's usually with the covers. It's a once a year visit, and that kind of keeps us out of trouble. And it definitely, any lingering wet, sticky leaves or stuff that's caught in a little corner gets blown out or stuck behind a splash guard. We're at like $1.50 a foot on cleaning. So I think they do like half of that, 75 cents. We slice it right in half. Everything in our world is use it as an upsell. It's just a reason to get to the house again. And then if your guys are trained properly or taking enough photos using like company cam or something, we then have somebody else that will dig through company cam, or the skilled guy can articulate to the homeowner, hey, the roof, I was just up there. You have some wind damage up there, and then maybe we're looking at a roof partial or a full roof replacement. It's just everything's another reason to find something else.
It's another, yeah. Like I really want to do them monthly. I want to be like for just $14.99 or $16.99 a month or something like that, right? You get our lifetime warranty, right? But we're going to show up once a year, do a full inspection and a dusting, blah, blah, blah. So that's coming.
Yeah, I have heard of people. Some companies have told me that they do more like a monthly subscription program where, whatever, it's 10, 20, 30 bucks a month. And if you have a problem during that time, definitely call us out. But if not, we'll be out once a year, right? And if you're not doing some sort of service-based thing with your client, you're just selling them a gutter and a gutter guard, and you walk away and you never talk to them again. Unfortunately, shame on you, because someone else is going to come behind you.
Totally agree.
Right.
So, well, thanks for letting me call in, guys. And unless there's anything else you want me to share with you, but other than that,
welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, and come back anytime. We'd love to have you even talk about the product.
Dennis, real quick. Well, since you're on and everybody knows that you are the guy that I buy all my gutter guards from, how do people get a hold of you before you say goodbye?
By all means.
Absolutely. So Dennis Lugo with Micromesh. You can get, if you go to our website and you fill out a contact us form, it all comes to me. Just say you're looking for sales. If not, you can reach me at 973-319-7606. Text me first. That way I know who it is calling in, because I get a lot of spam calls, and then I can call you back.
973-329-76.
319. 7606. Yeah, 973.
Got it.
319-7606. Or it's just Dennis at gutter-guards with an S.com.
Master Shield.
There we go.
Master Shield, Clean Gutter, Micromax. Those are all three brands.
Got it. All right. I just posted it as well in the thread.
And who's winning the Daytona 500? Who's your pick?
I didn't have a pick, but not for the for tomorrow's race to be Spencer Boyd, number 76. That's who I'm here to see. And so that'd be fun. So if you see me on TV,
have a blast. Sounds amazing.
All right, thanks. Have a great day.
All right, man. Later.
All right, we'll see you, Dennis.
All right, dude. I mean, we had a hell of a show today.
This was a good one. We had at one point like 45 people watching live. That was pretty darn cool.
We had everyone. sometimes like we get a little passionate. We both do it. We get a little passionate, and if I hurt anyone's feelings that you get some sort of feels about us talking poorly on low pricing or doing things wrong, good. I do it for the right reasons, and I don't mean any harm by it. I just trying to nudge you, motivate you, and you should feel some kind of way because you're making a really grave mistake and really poor use of your time. Take it from the guys who have been through this and know where the sweet spots are. Stop looking at the guys at the supply house on the loading dock of the supply house. So what do you charge? And what do you charge? Forget about that, Buzz. Go to the guys that are on the other end of the spectrum and follow suit. Figure out how to get with that likeness, that pricing, that presentation. That is where it's at. That's where you guys need to be. I wish I had all of that 22 years ago when I got my start. There was none of this.
Same. I wish it 10 years ago today I started my business. So I wish I had
on that, buddy. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
10 years.
I know. Yeah, feels good. We can officially say we've been in business a decade.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be back next Thursday, 8 p.m. ET. We're going to have, I don't know who we have on. I know Kyle is on again. And Rick.
Kyle's Jones.
Yeah, let's get him on. We'll have a little
Ricky Saint.
Yeah, the two of them want a Big Rick. Yeah.
All right, let's go.
All right, let's see if we can put that together for Thursday.
All right, rock on.
All right, everybody at home, thanks for watching. We really